Hey, how's it going? If you're new here, my name is Jan and I love makeup. And if you're not new, thanks for coming back. I really appreciate you. I've been saying for far too long that I was going to start doing my declutter videos. I'm finally actually doing it today. If this is your first video, I've been sick since Christmas Day. I got the Rona and it's kicking my butt a little bit. So, like, I feel okay. It's just like a really bad head cold and a lot of pressure in my head, and my ear feels like it has water in it, or sounds like it has water in it. Doesn't feel like it. So my voice is very, very annoying to me. So hopefully I can do this and not be too annoying to you. We're going to start off, obviously, with my blush quote-unquote collection. I don't think of my makeup as collecting. I just think of it as things I have on hand that I might want to use at some point. So I use the term collection because it's like, it's what everyone does. But I don't view it like I'm collecting it. All right, I think we should probably just get into it. I've already yammered on for far too long. I do want to mention real quick that anything I'm getting rid of will most likely be rehomed. If it's too old or too broken, it'll have to go in the garbage. But our fairly odd daughter, I call her my fairy odd daughter. We are her fairly odd parents. Anyway, she had a reaction to something in her makeup stash, so she's starting from scratch, and she's 9, gonna be 9. Wow, I'm a bad fairy odd parent. No, she's gonna be 9. Anyway, so a lot of what I have, she's gonna get first dibs on because she doesn't have a job. She needs her auntie to give her makeups. Just kidding, her mom's definitely got it covered, but it's fun when I can share. Okay, so yeah, all this stuff has a home. I'm not just going to throw it away. Let's start off with one that I really, really like. It's the BH Cosmetics Cheek Wave Powder Blush. And this is in the shade Caribbean Sunset. The packaging is plastic crap, but that shade is just so pretty. It has an orange shimmer, but it's a pink blush. It is lovely. This is what I think NARS Orgasm could have been had someone bothered. You know what I mean? I really despise the NARS blush. Mostly it doesn't show up on me, and I'm not even that dark, so it makes me cranky. Anyway, I'm going to keep this one for sure. At this point, I have no idea how many blushes I have, so I don't know how many I'm keeping or how many I'm getting rid of. Next up, we have this little e.l.f. blush, and it just says Bright Pink. I want to say this was maybe $2. And I'm pretty sure I got it for a full face of drugstore makeups or cheap makeups. That's it, on my ring finger. It's a very, very pretty blush. It's not one that I reach for, so I am going to declutter it, but not because of quality, just because I don't reach for it. And I have a very large blush collection stash. So let's stick with one-offs. I have this Winky Luxe blush in the shade Knickers. Mine's a little bit banged up. This has been like my go-to shade when I was wearing any kind of makeup look that was maybe a bit bold. This was like the perfect shade for me. I genuinely love this blush. It's so good. It's on the more expensive side, so that's a bummer because I would probably have wanted more. They're just so cool, and I've had this for literally years. I'm keeping it, and it has still kept its shape. It's absolutely lovely. I have this ColourPop Super Shock blush in the shade Growth Flirt. I tried this just a couple of days ago, and it's not for me. I like a strong blush, even though today's blush is not a strong one. I prefer piling on the blush And this just, no matter what I did or how hard I went in, I couldn't get it to be what I wanted. So I'm gonna declutter this. I have the Milani Luminoso because, you know, I think everyone does. I was actually fairly late getting this, but I really do like it. It is on the lighter side, but I can build it up a little bit. So I'm gonna keep this. And I'd probably keep it anyway. It's one of those things that like make up history. You know what I mean? There are some things in my stash that I will keep simply because of the history. Next we have the Glowish by Huda Beauty, and I have the shade 02 Caring Coral. This is what it looks like. This is a powder. I should mention the rose one, the Knickers by Winky Lux, is a cream. This is a powder and it's lovely. I love the size that Huda went with for this because this is the full-size blush, and they did a bronzer shade like a bronzer like this, but it's a mini, and the other bronzer is huge. So I really like the size of this. I wish more brands did smaller sizes. Okay, next we have the Ofra by Samantha March Blush Duo in Chiclet. I'm gonna keep this. I don't buy Ofra at this point, but I was a pretty hardcore fan of Samantha for a while, and I picked up all of her stuff, and I still have that. I have this little Lila B blush. It's in the shade B. Daring. I was on a mission to get orange blushes, and I was able to, I think I found this on Amazon. Can I open it? Yes. And this is a cream blush as well, and I really do like it. I think I have to hang on to this one for a little bit longer because it is so pretty, and I don't think I have a shade like this in my blush stash yet. I may have a new one. I have 4 new blushes, which I'm going to include in this video, and I'm gonna ask you don't judge me too harshly. I love blush. Keeping this one. I have this Hourglass blush in Diffused Heat. Again, I don't buy from Hourglass, but I've had this for ages and ages and ages. It's a very nice blush. I like it, so I'm going to hang on to this one. I do reach for it on occasion. It's a very wearable shade for me, I think. So it's easy to just whack it on and be done. I have this Undone Beauty Lip to Cheek palette, and this is in the shade 315 Bubble. I did kind of like a whole face of Undone Beauty. Wasn't impressed with most of it. This I really liked, but I literally have not reached for it at all. So I'm going to declutter it. Next up, I have this Maybelline Fit Me blush in the shade Rose. Very, very pretty, kind of a sheeny blush. I think I can let this one go. And then I have this MAC blush in the shade Melba. It was a subscription box, one of them, that did all like one brand. I can't remember what it was now, but anyway, this was in that. And I thought there's no way I'm gonna like this blush, look at it. I put it on my cheeks and was actually taken aback. This looked so nice, and I was sure I wouldn't like it for many reasons, probably because it was too boring, but I really like this, so this is definitely going to stay. Next up, I have this Nabla Skin Glazing Blush in Adults Only. I don't reach for this one often, but it's so unique that I'm going to hang on to it because I think it does fill a void, serve a purpose in my blush makeups. And then I have one Fenty cream blush in Summertime Wine. This is, I don't know if this is a mini, but it's a small one. I like it, like a lot, so I'm going to hang on to it. Next up, I have this beautiful blush from Kaleidos. It's absolutely stunning, and it's what I'm wearing today. and you can't even tell. So as pretty as it is, it's not made for somebody with my skin tone, or at least somebody with my skin tone who likes a bold blush. So I'm going to declutter that one. Next up, I have two of the blushes from the Profusion and Casper collection. This one is in the shade Hey Boo. It's kind of a reddy peach. And the other one is in the shade Ghosted, which is even slightly more red. I'm gonna keep both of these. I've only used them each once, but I really liked them when I used them, so I'm keeping those. I have this Freck cheek slime. I couldn't resist cheek slime, but I never reach for it, so I'm going to let that one go as well. I have two blushes from the brand Mented. I have this one in Pinky Promise, which is beautiful and very similar to the Maybelline one that I think I decided to declutter. Yep, all right, look at me, making good choices. And then I have it in Peach for the Stars. This is also a stunningly gorgeous blush. I need to use this more. So keeping those. I have two from Huda Beauty. This one is in the shade, oh, this was in the shade Sweet Talker. Sweet as in like S-U-I-T-E. I've had this for a very, very, very long time. This was the only orange blush that I had for a really long time, and I love orange blush. I'm going to probably have to throw this one and its mate in the garbage. They're so old. And this one is in Rendezvous. Both of these have a second layer, if you will, that has a balm. Can I get it open now? Yes. Which I never used because that's weird. But these I'm going to get rid of, but I don't think they can be rehomed. They're very, very old. I have two Buxom blushes. One is in the shade Wanderlust. Nope. One is in the shade Dolly and one is in the shade Mykonos. If I can get these open. Ow. This is Mykonos. And this is Dolly. Both of these are lovely. I've used them quite a bit, but I'm wondering, I think I'm going to keep Dolly because it's kind of a cool toned berry shade. I don't have many, if any, in my blushes, and I will declutter Mykonos. I have two of the L'Oreal Infallible blushes. This one is in Confident Pink, and this one is in Fearless Girl, perhaps? Love, love, love these. Will absolutely be hanging on to them. They are such good blushes. Strong, if you like a strong blush, but not overwhelming, like gets on your cheek and then you can't do anything with it. They're so nice. I have two of the NYX Sweet Cheeks liquid or cream blushes left in my collection. I'm going to keep both of these. I like them both so much. There's a theme happening here with these blushes. And then I have two Sephora collection blushes. So I have this one in Heated and this one in Hey Jealousy. I feel like I went with an orangey blush and a pink blush every time I bought blushes. Interesting. I guess we know what I like. And I think I'm gonna keep both of these. They are both very, very good blushes. And I like having I like having an array of price lines, price points. And then I have this Rare Beauty liquid blush in the shade Joy. I hardly use this, but I'm going to because I need to. I know I do. I have one blush from House Labs, and this was from the collection she did. It's beautiful. It's the only House Labs blush I have, and I'm keeping it. And then I have two from Melt, though I think this one is technically, no, I guess it's a blush, in the shade Lynx. It's very shimmery. I never reach for this. Should I hang on to it? And then we have the shade Phoenix. This is a highlighter, but I can't use it as a highlighter. I would have to use it as a blush, which I don't know if I've done. Oh, that's really pretty. I think I will keep the highlighter as a blush, and I will declutter Lynx, which is the actual blush. And as I was pulling all of these out, I of course dropped one and it broke, and I don't know if I can get Mike to fix it, if it's fixable, but it's the Odin's Eye blush in the shade Rosé Love, which is one of the shimmery orange ones. I am keeping this. I love these blushes. I just wish I hadn't broken it. And sticking with Odin's Eye, like I said, I have all of them. And this is Orange Sunny, which is a nice matte orange. And there's Sunset Clouds, a matte pink. And then we have Warm Sun, which is a matte orange. It's very light, but it's pigmented, so it definitely shows up on my skin. And then we have Peach Gleam, which is a slightly darker orange with a sheen or a shimmer in it. They're lovely. I like these blushes a lot. I'm so sad that one broke. And then we have Sienna Luster, which is in between the other two, kind of a medium-ish, if you will, orange sheeny blush. Okie dokie. Next, I have this liquid blush from Goss called Honey Bun. I'm gonna hang on to this. And I have three from Made by Mitchell. So we have a matte pink, a sparkly, like fuchsia-y pink, and then a sparkly orange. I'm gonna keep all of these. I want to get more into playing with cream and liquid blushes. I have the Pat McGrath Bridgerton little trio. The highlighter is broken. These blushes really are nice, but I don't reach for them. I'm going to declutter. And then I have these two Milani brushes. This one is in Coral Crush, and this one is in Blushing Berry. I broke Blushing Berry, dropping it, of course, and we have Coral Crush. Again, an orangey one and a pink one. These are both so, so nice. I'm going to declutter both of them. I have other options that I have been reaching for more. I don't know if anybody's gonna want the one that's broken, but I will give the option. Two from NARS, unsurprisingly, Orgasm. Again, I've said it already, this blush annoys me. It's so anticlimactic. Like, I really will never understand all the rage behind people loving this blush. I'm gonna hang on to it because it is makeup history. And then I have this NARS blush in the shade Gaiety, which I thought would be similar-ish to the one that went viral from Dior. It's pretty. I actually like this a lot. I'm going to keep it. I don't have much else in my blush collection-ish like that. Now we have kind of face palettes. We have the One Size blush palette in Firestarter. I never reach for this, but I need to. I need to. When I ordered this blush, it was the first one of its kind that was red. I was so excited to have that. Then I have the Natasha Denona Love Glow palette. It's cute. I don't ever reach for this, but I think Hellsabells would like it, so I'm gonna see if she wants it. Next one is the Hip Dot in Clueless. It looks like an old style cell phone. It's got 4 shades. It barely made the declutter last year and I never used it. So I'm going to part with that one as well. Then I have the Alamar Cosmetics Trio. This is really quite nice. The quality is fantastic. You can tell I've used it a fair amount, but I have all of these in singles, so I'm going to pass this on. Nobody's making me do this. I buy all of my makeups, so I'm okay with keeping it, but I'm also okay with admitting when I'm not going to use something and it can go to a better home. So that's what we're doing today. I have the Unearthly Surrender Blush Trio that came in the Valentine's mystery box. This is lovely. I've used it a bunch of times. I used it once with a synthetic brush and it did not like the synthetic brush. But with a natural hair brush, it's so good. Definitely gonna hang on to that. Next is the Natasha Denona Duo Glow, and this is in the shade, hold on, Alba. I always get this and Melba mixed up. This is a very nice blush. Again, similar to the NARS Orgasm shade, but actually shows up on my skin. So I'm gonna hang on to this one. It's so pretty. And I have the Wayne Goss, and this is Coral Rose. I've used this quite a few times recently. It's nice. Should I keep it? I mean, I've been reaching for it, so it would make sense to keep it, right? It'll survive this declutter. Again, nobody's forcing me to do this. It's a choice. Next, I have the Jessa Myrix Dewy Cheek and Lip Palette. Man, I loved this. Again, pink and orange. It was practically made for me. I haven't used it a whole lot recently, so I need to get on that because this is so good. Definitely keeping that one. And say what you will, I'm a dork, but I got this with one of my Jessa Myrix orders and I kept it. It's all of the shades of the Dewy Cheek Balm thingies. So until I can buy them all, should I decide to, I'm gonna keep the little card. And then we have It Girl, which I believe came with a mini of the Universal Yummy Skin Balm powder thingy. So very happy to have this one. And then I have Prima Donna, which is so pretty. It was so hard to choose which one I was gonna order because they're all just lovely. All right, the last two are the Blend Bunny Juicy Cheeks and Bare Cheeks. If this is not your first time here, you already know these aren't going anywhere. I love these two palettes. I reach for them at least once a week, at least. And I have a fairly large blush collection, so that to me is saying something. And the last blush that I have in my stash that isn't new is the Essence Pure Nude Baked Blush in the shade Bold Heart. I love this. It's sheeny and beautiful and buildable and blendable. It is absolutely lovely. In fact, Dee Dee had to yell at me and tell me to put it away when I first got it because I couldn't stop using it. So knowing how much I liked that one, I decided to pick up Pretty Peach, which is the exact same formula in this beautiful peachy, sheeny shade. So haven't used this yet. I'm very, very excited to have it and use it. I feel like the Maybelline ones, no, Maybelline, L'Oreal? The L'Oreal ones and these Essence ones are ones I could like Pokemon, like gotta catch them all. The last ones that I just got, have not used yet. I had to get the e.l.f. liquid blushes. So I picked up the kind of bronzy brown shade. I picked up the super orange one. These all have names, but I would have to put on my reading glasses to see it. And then I picked up the lighter orangey kind of pinky one. So that is my entire blush collection. What I'm keeping, what I'm getting rid of, I will insert the numbers here because I didn't count. I will do that and then let you know. But it looks like I've gotten rid of, there are 14 that I'm gonna offer up to Hell's Bells and 2 that probably have to go in the garbage. That's pretty darn good. And that I'm counting like the palettes as 1. I feel good about that. So then I'll figure out how many I have that I'm keeping. And that's that. I'm very excited. It feels good to have this one done. Next will be bronzer, and then I'll do highlighter, and then we'll burn that bridge when we get there. I hope that you like this video. Let me know if there's anything you want to see specifically in the next few videos where I'm actually applying makeups, and I'll do that. Hopefully you liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Either way, I appreciate you hanging out with me today. Be good and remember to be kind to you.